Howdy folks. By the description and most likely by the thumbnail, you know, today we're going to be talking about knives. Specifically survival knives and what makes a survival knife a survival knife. So let's get started. Got some axe. Got us a bushcraft knife. Alright. We got a fillet knife. Got a Mora bushcraft knife. And got one of these little jobs. This thing. And a survival knife. What makes this a survival knife is it can do the job of every other knife and cutting edge you see here. None of these other tools can do everything that this thing can do. One more knife for you. Never leave home without it. Got two of them. Keep one in each pocket. Little case folder knife. Now then, I don't have one to show you, but if you've ever seen a sure enough carving knife, it looks like the reverse of this knife with a shorter blade. It's got a straight cutting edge, and the top has a drop on it like this. It's used for making small, precise stop and push cuts. Turn it up and do little grooves and whatnot, and that's a carving knife. Can you carve with this knife? Sure you can. Can you do fine detail carving? No. But in a survival situation, you're not making duck decoys. You're making sharp points on sticks and notches and things like that. So can this knife be a carver? Yeah. That's one good thing about it. Folding knife. It's good for every day, cutting open boxes, sharpening your pencil. It does a lot of things, cut string. But would you call that a survival knife? No. You just can't. Okay, it's a nice knife. It's great to have. Never go anywhere without it. Bushcraft knife. You know from some of my other videos that this is my Condor. Actually now it's my daughter's Condor bush lure. My bush lure is the full-size one, and it's at the leather shop right now being fit with a new leather sheath. But this is more or less a bushcraft knife. High carbon steel blade, full tang, hardwood handle, very sharp edge on it. You do just about anything with this knife. You can do a lot of the stuff with this knife that you can do with that knife. But not everything. Now, can you bushcraft with this knife? Absolutely. Can you cut feather sticks with it? Absolutely. Can you baton wood with it? Absolutely. Speaking of which, that's what an axe is for. You need to chop wood and split wood, you need an axe. Can a survival knife chop and split wood? Absolutely. But can an axe do everything else that this thing does? No. One of the most famous survival bushcraft knives around is the Mora. High carbon steel. This one, instead of having the wood handle, has one of the new rubber and plastic handles. Would you call that a survival knife? A lot of survivalists out there use these. Swear by them. Would I trust my life to this knife on purpose? If I had a choice between this one and that one? No. I trust this one. This one does so much more than this one. This one will fail you in a life or death situation, which is what survival means. Survival means that your life is in danger. You want the best bulletproof, bomb-proof, one-tool option survival knife you can get your hands on. This ain't it. It's a nice knife. I love it. This is not a survival knife. Not by today's standards. Little CRKT neck knife, clip knife. Not really very useful. Not a survival knife. It's not a tactical knife. Great for opening boxes and letters, cutting a little bit of string. don't care for it much. This was a gift, and I like it. It's just I don't use it. Now then, this stuff made some little super cheap factory in Asia somewhere. China, Philippines, Taiwan. Who knows what kind of stainless it is. Plastic handle. Make it a different color. Put some TV character's name on it and call it something, say, oh, I don't know, Ultimate Survival Knife. It's not an Ultimate Survival Knife. Anybody that's been keeping up with Adam at Equip the Door, they saw him with the Bear Grylls knife, stabbing it into a 2x4, bending it over, and snap goes the tip. And they grab a $200 knife and do the same thing with it and just destroy the 2x4. If you've watched any of my videos, you saw me with a cheap little wood chisel, using that to pry and stab and do that kind of stuff with it. You don't do that to your knife. It's not what a knife is designed for. This is not a knife. This is a survival knife. Can I do that? All day long. Should I be doing it even with this one when my life is not in danger? No. But I can't. That's what makes a survival knife. You can do every task that a cutting tool needs to do to affect your survivability. None of this other stuff is survival knives. These cheap made in China with TV character's name on it and a really cool tactical looking Kydex sheath. If you believe this is going to let you survive, go ahead, get you one. Go out in the wilderness. Somebody like me will come out and get you eventually, hopefully before you die. If you want a survival knife, you don't have to spend $200, $300, $400, $500. Get you a Becker BK2. It's less than $100. It is bulletproof. It is bomb-proof. It is a one-tool option, and you can survive with this knife. You're not going to carve wood ducks with it. You're not going to bushcraft with it every day. But if you have this in your kit, when all else fails, this won't. That's what makes a survival knife, not this. If you have to baby something like this in a survival situation, you might as well not even have this. Get this. It's not that much more expensive than these things. These are 50 bucks. These are 80 bucks. What's another $30 compared to the cost of a funeral? Get a survival knife if you want a survival knife. Don't buy into the TV glitz and glamour. All of these other knives have their place. If they didn't, I wouldn't have them. But they're not survival knives. Got anything you want to add to any of this? Feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for joining me.